¿Cómo puede haber alguien que odie a Scooby-Doo? Es algo que me pregunto después de haber charlado con Tom Ruegger, un animador de Hanna-Barbera que le tocó trabajar en las versiones de la década del 80 para adelante de este dibujo animado que no solo le sirvió para aprender, para formarse y convertirse en editor, en responsable de esta caricatura, sino que además le sirvió para después, por ejemplo, volcar parte de su contenido en otras ficciones que creó como Animaniacs o Tiny Toons. Hablamos de gente que detestó este dibujo animado por razones muy particulares, hablamos de fantasía, hablamos de realidad y un montón de cuestiones más, todas en este informe sobre un dibujo que por lo menos a mí me marcó a lo largo de mi infancia.
We now return to Mira Akien and Contré with our latest interview.
When I first came onto Scooby, I hadn't even watched the Scooby. I started writing Scooby the weekend after I spent just watching nothing but Scooby for a weekend. Then I became the story editor of Scooby like that week. So Hanna-Barbera made me the story editor of Scooby without me having watched. Every show of Scooby before the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo had a villain who looked like a monster or a ghost or a demon or something, who was a guy in disguise or a woman in disguise. And so that's a certain silly quality. And you try to make the bad guy or the monster look real, but it's really some guy in a suit or with a contraption. Only with 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo did we say, okay, we have a chest of demons and they've escaped and you have to catch these demons.
Nosotros somos fantasmas. Correctamente, mantecón, pero escucha el ruido del cofre.
That's the first time Hanna-Barbera ever received like hate mail about Scooby, because people thought they suddenly said, oh, the show is, it's about devil worship or something,
Oh,
we've got the Bible Belt did not want to see real monsters and ghosts because they thought that would scare kids.
¡Ay, qué es eso! Son los 13 fantasmas que están dentro del cofre.
At that point, I've made a bunch of shows for Filmation. I've written a bunch of shows and for Hanna-Barbera, and it's all been cute, sweet, nice stuff. And I know I kind of felt, and I had kids, I felt like I knew what kids could cope with. So I thought what Mitch Shower created 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, and I think he brought a great number of new ideas and new energy to the show, and he redesigned the characters a bit. And I thought the show benefited from this new angle. Now I think some of the Scooby movies that are being made, I think there are real sort of monsters and ghosts and spooks and things like that. Not every episode of every Scooby now is with the mask coming up.
Yeah.
Mitch Shower was a great pioneer on that front. And then after that, a couple of years later, I got to produce and develop a show called A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. And again, we went back to masks and disguises, and there were no real ghosts.
When the ghosts and ghouls attack, Scooby eats a Scooby snack. Scooby-Doo.
It's a cartoon, so you can bend the rules of physics and gravity. So how was playing with that, and how much has to be real, or how much can be a fantasy in terms to develop the story?
Well, again, with the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, we went into definite fantasy land. I think in a lot of the other incarnations of Scooby, it was just the teens in the van or wherever they're going, they're investigating something and they get scared by the monster, but it turns out to be a guy in a disguise.
Yeah.
Pup Named Scooby-Doo definitely had, I think, a lot of really fun, interesting, wacky villains. And that's the other thing about the 13 Ghosts and A Pup. We got a little wacky with, we'd do like news reports. We'd like do cutaways, and their Shaggy would be like doing the news and Scooby would be next to him. And so these were kind of weird cutaways that prior to 13 Ghosts, Scooby never did.
Yeah.
And so, and I think that stuff is what I took from 13 Ghosts and brought to like Tiny Toons and Animaniacs. They're sort of the cutaways to non sequiturs.
Esto es fácil, Scooby, ya es hora de acampar. ¿Entendido?
Scooby-Doo.